Well, first off, Robert here, trainer here, Robert Garcia. How is the new gym coming along, bro?
Everything's beautiful. As you see, we're fully equipped. 2 rings, 18, 20 heavy bags. 8 speed bags, 6 double M bags, plus all the room for all my other cardio machines and everything. So it's perfect. I love my gym, and it seems like all my fighters are loving it too.
Gotcha. A new face who came to the gym, Marcos Maidana. What's it like working with him? What's it, the past week or so?
You know what? We started last week was our first. This is our second week working together.
Yeah.
And he's impressed me. He's doing better than what I expected.
Okay.
Watching his fights, especially his last fight where he makes a lot of mistakes inside the ring. I don't know if once we start sparring or once we go to the fight, he's gonna go back to that same and make those mistakes. But the way it looks, he's getting better every day, and he's listening and doing everything he's told to do. So I'm actually pretty impressed with what the week of work that we've done. It's more than what I expected.
Now, you said that he has he's like one of the hardest hitters you've had for his weight class. Like, do you feel his power when you're hitting the mitts?
I feel his power. You know what? My fighters, I could say Mikey, his record shows that he's got tremendous power, but Mikey's not a power puncher. He's a in and out counter puncher, but hits so hard that he hurts his opponent and knocks him out. Nonito Droner, same thing. Look, those knockouts he's had against Montiel, Sedorenko, or whatever his name was, very, very impressive. So he's got power. So he moves in and out, doesn't look for the knockout, but when it comes, one punch does it. Brandon Rios, 80% of his fights haven't gone the distance because he knocks his opponents out. Out of his last 11 fights, I think 10 have gone out. So he's got power. Maidana is very strong, very powerful. His punches, you feel them. If I got the shield on me, I feel that body punch. Takes the wind out of me. So he is very, very powerful, and his record also shows it. We talk about Kelly Pavlik, same thing. Kelly Pavlik's got a tremendous power in his right hand, and we're doing very good with his left too. He's actually won his last fight with his left and looked very impressive doing it.
Now you mentioned Mikey. Looks like he's gonna have that fight with Celestino Caballero. Maybe July 28th. How much do you like that fight for your brother?
Well, we've been ready for this fight. We've been asking for his opportunity already. It's not an easy fight. Caballero's a very difficult opponent. His style, he's very tall, and he's gonna try to box and win a decision, I'm sure. But Mike is ready. He's ready for his title opportunity. If it's Caballero, if it's Salido, there's talk about the fight being July 28th, and that's what I was told. But until we have a contract in our hands and we know it's a done deal, then we don't know. But that Cameron Duncan does handle that, and he's been telling us, keeping us in touch with everything, and it looks like that's the date they gave us, and that's what they were getting ready for. But like I said, until we have a contract, then we'll know for sure.
Brandon Rios, he's back in the gym. I mean, how eager is he to kind of get back in things and try things out at 140?
Well, he's training because in his mind he wants to fight Marquez July 14th. That might not happen, but I know Cameron will have something for us. What I read, nothing that even Cameron told me. I read it, that Barbero mentioned something about him and Nonito Doner doing a double header sometime at the end of June or early July, something like that. So we'll be ready. Brandon's in the gym and training hard.
Now, they talk about Marquez. Say Marquez faces like a guy like a Mercito Gesta. Would you be kind of disappointed in the sense that, Brandon was a former champion, he didn't get that shot yet? Prospect like Gesta, undefeated contender like Gesta got the shot, and do you think he would be able to be competitive with Marquez?
Well, it will be competitive. I think Gesta is a good fighter. He's not bad. He doesn't have the experience, so that might make a big difference in the fight. But he should be competitive. He's young, he's hungry, he's strong. But yeah, I was a little disappointed that Marquez decided to leave Brandon behind and not even mention his name when I think Brandon deserves it more than anybody else. Brandon had trouble making 135, but at 140 he'll be stronger than before. So maybe that's why Marquez is looking to go the easier way. I don't know. Only Marquez knows his team. They have a great team. Marquez is an experienced fighter and a businessman. he's in this sport now at 38 because he's all business. He's not pride anymore. He's not doing it for pride or for titles. He knows this is a business, and at his age, all he's talking about it, all he thinks is business. And fighting a left-hander, maybe that prepares him to get ready for Pacquiao.
Speaking of Pacquiao, he had a really tough fight, with Marquez. Some people felt he lost. Do you feel his back is to the wall? He really kind of has to prove himself against Bradley. And what do you think of that challenge?
Well, he definitely has to. It's like, I see it this way. He didn't look too good. I thought he lost.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought so. I'm not the only one. He's got to come back and look impressive to get everybody's attention back and everybody believing in him back, because honestly, a lot of people think that he might be going down the hill already.
Okay.
But if he comes back and looks impressive, then again, he's on top of the world and he's pound for pound one of the best. It happens to a lot of fighters. I could even mention Brandon Rios. In his last fight, he didn't look too impressive, and I'm the first one to admit it. He didn't look too good. A lot of people also thought he lost. But he comes back in his next fight and he looks impressive and does what he has to do on 140. Nobody will even remember Abreu. Everybody will talk about the beast that Brandon is, the way they were before when he beat Acosta, when he beat Antillon, when he beat Peterson. Everybody thought Brandon was the beast in the ring. Now for one fight that doesn't look too impressive, too good, then everybody thinks he can't fight. Well, I think Pacquiao's in the same position right now, but coming back and looking impressive, well, that might change everything, but he doesn't have an easy fight. He has a hard fight. Timothy Bradley is training hard. I actually seen his coach's brother in the
picture. Ellie had the Sekbak had the picture of him ripped.
And he still got 3 weeks before the fight. Yeah. He's fucking ripped, and I can't. I just couldn't believe it, and he's gonna be in there for a real fight, so it's gonna be impressive.
And I was gonna ask you, his trainer Joel Diaz. Do you know the Diaz brothers really well? They come from a definitely rich fighting family. Do you know Joel, Antonio, Julio pretty well?
Very well. We grew up in the amateurs together. Joel is a little bit older than me, and Antonio's about a year or so younger than me. So we grew up together in the amateurs. In the pros, we were fighting around the same times and everything. So yeah, I know them pretty well. They are great people, great family. I've met his parents. I know all the brothers. They're a bunch of brothers, and they're all good people. They are fun. We do the national tournament in Coachella every year, and we go. The Diaz brothers, they invite me to their ranch, and we have fun. They're good people, good family.
Did you see the Mayweather-Cotto fight? What did you think of that fight?
Oh, it was a great fight. I know a lot of people think that Cotto won more rounds. I think the scores were right, but they were close rounds. But Mayweather did enough to win the rounds. Maybe 2 rounds maybe I'll give 2 rounds to Cotto. But it was tough for Mayweather. Even though he won most of the rounds, it wasn't easy. He had to really, really fight to win those rounds.
If the Mayweather-Pacquiao doesn't happen, are there any fights that interest you, like that you would like to see if Floyd Mayweather in, or?
Well, Mayweather, anybody he fights, anybody he's against is going to be interesting. He makes those fights interesting. He has that style to fight anybody, somebody that nobody's ever heard before, and he will still sell. That's just Mayweather. I think anybody he fights is going to be interesting. I would like to see him against Canelo, and that's a fight that will happen in the future. They both work together with the same promoter, so I think 1 or 2 fights that Canelo could do before that, and next year Canelo should be ready for Mayweather.
I can ask you, were you impressed by Canelo's fight with Sheamus?
Very impressed.
You were
very impressed, and I know Mosley is already 40, I believe.
Yeah.
So a lot of people might think his age, but he's an athlete. He's been an athlete all his life. He's always in shape, always in the gym. So being 40 doesn't mean much. I just think we've seen a great Canelo. Canelo looks sensational. His power, his speed, his footwork, everything was unbelievable. And I think, like I said, maybe the only reason I could say he's not ready for Mayweather yet is because of his experience. But 1 or 2 more fights against top quality opponents, he should be ready for